Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of the TweeCV Breakdown. I've just woken up. It's 11 a.m. Don't ask, alright? I had a big night of League of Legends, exclusively, just playing that over and over. Anyway, wow. What a way to start the video. However, it is 8 a.m. and we have some new patch notes to run down. It's season 2025 time. I've been looking forward to this for a while. And I thought that, as someone who eventually would love to be a caster, it's probably my job to have an informed opinion on these. So, I thought I'd read them with you guys, thought I'd run them through. So if you're someone who wants to know what's going on, I'm going to explain everything that's up, what's going on in the new patch, I'll give you some takes on it. I'm just going to start reading, because you know what you're here for. So, welcome to Nexus. It is 2025, and we're starting it off strong with our first theme season, Nexus. Coming with it, we have a good amount of big changes, like a fresh coat of paint for the map, a new epic monster named Atakhan, a new system called Feats of Strength. We've also got some smaller changes, like a teleport revamp, minion adjustments, and a few of your usual gameplay balance changes, yada yada yada. We've cut a few changes. Okay. Skip over. Fearless Draft. I'll talk about this later. But this is not useful for you if you're just here for what's going to go on League. The idea here is that in pro play, they're implementing Fearless Draft, which is where if a champ is picked in game 1, it can't then be picked again in game 2, or game 3, or game 4, or game 5. So it's going to lead to us seeing some more weird shit in pro, but we don't care about that because we're here for solo queue, because that's what we play. Noxus invades the Rift. I think this is just a thematic thing. Again, I don't care about this. We're here for gameplay. If you want to know about the thematic thing, this is what the Rift looks like. The minions look cool now. The turrets look cool now. And the map is brown. That's pretty sick. Right. This is the first big one, though. Atakhan. This season, we're adding an entirely new epic monster to the Rift, introducing Atakhan, an ancient demon of bloodshed and violence. Atakhan spawns at 20 minutes and can appear in the river closer to either top or bottom lane. Which side he spawns? Wow. Which side he spawns on depends on which has seen more champion damage and kills by 14 minutes. At 14 minutes, Atakhan's pit will spawn with 2 permanent walls to carve out his territory, signaling where he'll appear for players, so you have plenty of time to plan out your approach for fighting this ancient demon. But that isn't all there is for Atakhan. The amount of champion damage and kills done in the game will affect which of the 2 forms the demon takes on. In a higher action game, you'll see Ruinous Atakhan. If you manage to take him down, your entire team will permanently be granted increased effects from all epic monster awards, and he'll leave behind a field of blood roses for anyone nearby to collect. I'm going to read the whole thing, and then I'll give thoughts afterwards. What are blood roses? In addition to Atakhan, we're adding a new plan to Summoner's Rift. They act as a minor but permanent bonus you can take for your own team and deny the enemy team. They grant your entire team a small amount of XP and a permanent stacking adaptive force buff. Blood roses can spawn before 20 minutes and do so around areas where champions have died or around Atakhan's spawn location. Interesting, so where champs die. Okay, in addition to as a reward for killing Ruinous Atakhan. But back to Atakhan's other form. In a lower action game, you'll see Voracious Atakhan. If you manage to take him down, your entire team will be granted a temporary one-time death mitigation buff, similar to Guardian Angel. Wow. They really looked at Dota and they were like, that's sick. They're copying Dota's homework here, man. Dota is not a game that you want to copy, I'll be honest. There's some crazy stuff in it. Anyway, except you'll also teleport back to base, and a permanent increase... Except you'll also teleport back to base. So when you die, you go back to base, sure, and you get a permanent increased gold from champion takedowns, which should help give teams that extra push to take that team fight. I'm telling you, my teams don't need that push, bro. But all good. Okay, so here's the actual stats. Voracious Atakhan buff. So if you kill Voracious Atakhan, which is the one that spawns in a lower action game, you get, permanent 40 gold increase to champion takedowns the rest of the game, sure. And a one-time death mitigation effect for the next 100, that's quite short, 150 seconds. If they would die, the player will enter stasis for 2 seconds and return to base after another 3.5 seconds. When this happens, the would-be killer gets 100 gold and a blood... Okay, so it's not quite like the Dota thing, because they do still get money for killing you. It's not much, though. But Balsan's law, you know. Alright, Ruinous Atakhan buff. Upon taking down Ruinous Atakhan, the team that slayed him receives 25% increase to all epic monster rewards for the rest of the game. What is that? Does that mean your soul is 25% stronger? Or does that just mean your dragon stacks? Because that's disgusting. Your Baron minions are 25% stronger? I'm not 100% sure how it's going to interact with, like, Baron and Soul. I can see it interacting with the stat effects from Baron. Like, if you get, you know, I'm not sure, it's like 15% increase AP, you'll get, what's 25% of 15 is fucking 3.5 or something. You'll get, like, 18.5% increase instead. Anyway. And they get 6 bloody petals immediately. and then will spawn 6 large and 6 small blood rose plants around his pit. Okay, so after you kill the guy, you get... I feel like that one's a lot weaker. Like, immediately. But I guess it snowballs harder. Alright, we'll talk about it in a sec. So what do blood roses actually give you? Each petal gives the player that it picked up its team 25 XP. So I get... Is that to each individual, or is that split across the entire... Is that 5 XP per? I'd imagine it's 25 to each. So it's just like one range minion. Okay. And 1 adaptive force, 2.33. Petals can primarily be gained through hitting a blood rose. Although they can be attained through other ways like Atakhan. Okay, so these blood petals don't seem very... I'm a little bit concerned about blood petals. So I'll give my thoughts now. So there's a couple concerns with this. First of all, usually in solo queue, if there is high action on one side of the map, that high action looks like one guy is getting absolutely fucked and the other guys are like farming him. So if there's a lot of kills in bot lane, that isn't usually, sometimes it is, but usually it's not. One team will kill and then the other team will kill. It's not back and forth. It's like my Jhin Braum is like fucking 10-0 at 10 minutes. And we're just pissing on them. We're just absolute fisting. Like, my jungler's diving. We're killing them between towers, right? That's what's usually going on. And so if Atakhan is then gonna spawn in bot lane, I can see this getting out of hand quite quickly. Although I guess it does spawn at 20 minutes. So laning phase is firmly over. Alright, laning phase is over at the point that Atakhan spawns. So I guess where it spawns is not actually that big of an issue. But I think the point still stands that he's very... The thing I'm concerned about with Atakhan here is that he's very snowball oriented. If you have a winning game and you get Ruinous Atakhan, you're already more likely to be getting the more epic monsters, right? You're already more likely to be getting Dragon. And I feel like this is not a unique take. I feel like everyone has this, but you're already more likely to be getting epic monsters because you're winning. You're more likely to kill Atakhan because you're winning, and the Atakhan reward you're likely to get is likely to be stronger because you're winning. So I think all of this is going to compound into like snowballing being pretty solid. So if you win in the early game, and as we'll see later, there's a couple other systems, like particularly Feats of Strength, that compound this even harder. But I think if you're winning the early game, Atakhan is pretty ridiculous. He's pretty insane. It gives a very big incentive, particularly for I think for gank-oriented junglers. I think we're going to see lots of Xin Zhao, lots of J4. I think it gives a lot of... I mean, I know you love him, but bruiser top laners, I think, are back. Yay. Everyone loves a good fighter in the top lane. We all love playing against Darius. But I like a lot of incentive for that. Like, lane bullies are like super incentivized, because if you win early, you can get Atakhan to spawn on your side of the map. I think it's worse if it's in top lane, because top laners don't leave their lane, bro. So if Atakhan's spawning in top, and you have like a 10-0 Yorick up there, that thing is gone. That thing is gone. Anyway. Right, well, okay, so I'm a little bit concerned about the snowballing. However, on the cool side of things, I think this ranks as like a 10. This is like unbelievably fucking cool. This is really cool. So, if it's not as snowbally as I fear, and I think the buffs aren't even that good. Like, I think that because Ruinous Atakhan particularly doesn't immediately give you anything, I don't think 6 bloody petals. It's a large. So large drops 6 petals. Hold up. 6 small blood rose. How many is that? So that is 36 petals, plus 18 petals, plus 6 petals. Wait. So I'm looking at, what I'm looking at is the bottom of Ruinous Atakhan. After you kill Ruinous Atakhan, he's going to give you 6 bloody petals immediately. Then he's going to spawn 6 large and 6 small blood rose plants. Then below that, it tells you how much blood roses give you. So I'm just going to calculate this. So it's 36 plus 18 plus 6, which I believe is 60, no? So that is 60 times 25, which I can't do in my head. I'm typing with one hand. 1,500 XP to your whole team. Is that... How much is that? I can't quantify that in my head. I feel like that's a lot. 1,500 XP to your whole team. Okay, that is pretty insane. That is, like, pretty scary. Alright, well, I'm just going to trust they get the numbers right, though. But that is a lot of XP to your whole team. So if you kill Ruinous Atakhan, that's fucking crazy. Okay. Yeah, so the concern is that this is going to make games snowball out of control. My other concern is that I think... that's not concerning. I don't know. I was going to say I think in solo queue, like, more objectives leads to more Fiesta, and it's, like, kind of suspicious, but... I really like thematically that they're playing into, like... I don't know, all the bloodshed and violence side of things. Like, this guy feeds on conflict, and like, if there's more kills on one side of the map, he's gonna spawn. And if there's more kills, he's gonna be stronger. And if there's less kills, he's hungry. Like, that's cool. That's really cool. I think the theme, they absolutely nailed the theme. I think it looks cool as fuck as well. I think this thing looks sick. I guess that's the little blood rose that we're seeing. Anyway, alright. So we'll read what they say now, but yeah. It's really cool. I hope it's implemented well. I'm very concerned that what's going to happen is that it's going to snowball out of control very quickly, and we're going to be in trouble. And then we're going to see a lot of 21-minute FFs. I'm also slightly concerned that this reward might be a little bit overtuned. Like, this might be like Dragon Soul level of, you just win the game if you get it. 1500 XP plus... I guess at the point you're getting Dragon Soul that you're already going to win. So 25% stronger Dragon Soul is not actually that insane. Maybe it's not that good. I don't know. Whatever. I'll think about it. With Atakhan, we wanted to create an important gameplay objective that allows players to participate in shaping the story unique to each game on Summoner's Rift. Both teams' actions, their choice to fight or not, and where and when will determine Atakhan's location and form. Our goal is for this to ultimately let players actively create more variation to each game of League. Dude, in LPL, every single one of these Atakhans is going to be ruinous, bro. That's so funny. And in LCK, you're not going to see one non-voracious Atakhan. Alright. As a minor side note, in order to make room for Atakhan, Rift Herald has been pushed back to 16 minutes, and Baron Nashor has been pushed back to 25 minutes. So I think, yeah, okay, they acknowledge they don't want games to last longer than they do today, which is what I was concerned about, and we make changes if we see that's the case. Okay, fair. Typically, teams aren't taking Barons at 20 minutes when they spawn, so we think there's room for another powerful mid-game objective that is more realistically claimable in Atakhan. I mean, yeah, I agree. Cool. Well, I hope it's cool. Respawning Nexus Towers. Now, I'm very excited about this, because I fucking hate getting ended on. Backdooring is like the worst. Just like inhibitors, Nexus Turrets will now respawn at full health after a set amount of time after being destroyed. When they respawn, they'll have all the same properties, good as new. Our goal with adding respawning Nexus turrets was to help reduce the amount of games that feel hopeless because you just lost both of your turrets. Agree. Hard agree. It felt like you were delaying the inevitable because you needed to contest game winning an objective like Baron, real, or Elder Dragon, real, but you're not able to leave the base without a little Shaco rat or a little Scion dog backdooring to win the game. I did a bit of improv there. Now, if you're able to fend off backdoors for a period of time, you won't have to babysit your Nexus any longer, and can get back into the action. Nexus respawn turrets high. Okay, so 3-minute delay. 3-minute delay on the respawn. That's pretty long. That is pretty long. I don't know if this is going to achieve what they want. Just because it's a 3-minute delay. Like, usually, if they destroy on, like, 3 minutes is a fucking long time. It is very likely in that 3 minutes, just because the spawn time as most objectives is like 5 minutes. Right? It's very likely that a major objective will spawn while your Nexus Towers are still respawning. And the situation that you're trying to avoid happens anyway. I don't know how you stop that. It's less likely because of they respawn at all. But it's still possible. And I guess maybe that's just the game. You shouldn't lose your Nexus Towers. But, yeah, anyway. I'm happy with that change overall. I think it's good. I hate getting backdoored on. It's the worst. Feats of Strength. Now, this is the big one that I'm very concerned about, but also, as a top lane player who loves getting all of these objectives, fucking love. I think this is really sick. This is my favorite one. So, Noxus is coming to the Rift and bringing the Feats of Strength with it. This new system replaces the gold bonuses from First Blood and First Turret while adding a third Feat of Strength for teams to fight over. Monster Slaying, which requires 3 epic monsters claims to complete. Whichever team completes the 2 of the 3 Feats of Strength, First Blood, First Turret, and Monster Slaying, wins the feats for that game, and will have their Tier 2 boots upgraded to their Triumphant Virgins. Later in the game, the feat-winning team will also have the opportunity to upgrade their Tier 2 boots to Tier 3 by spending gold. But, in order to do so, they must have at least 2 legendary items in their inventory. We have several goals for Feats of Strength, guiding players in the early game to accomplish the goals of our team, removing some gold that was snowballing individual players too hard in the early game. Boo! And giving players a fun way to access boot upgrades. We're looking for feats to guide the way that teams play through the early game and represent a small concrete advantage for mid and late game. Triumphant boot upgrades are free. So Triumphant boots are the ones that you get when you complete 2 Feats of Strength out of 3, and are immediately granted to any Tier 2 boots of the team that won feats. If you don't yet have Tier 2 boots, you'll receive the upgrade straight out of the shop, so no worries there. Okay, sure. Here are the list of the Triumphant boot bonuses. I'm not going to read all of these because I don't think it's very helpful. The big ones to notice, to point out here, alright? Lucidity boots got +5 haste. Sork shoes got +5 magic pen. Swifties got +5 move speed, and I don't know if you've been watching any games on the most recent patch. We'll get to something that needs to be nerfed. We'll get to something that needs to be completely fucking destroyed. Alright. The following upgrades are purchasable upgrades that can be bought by the Feats of Strength winning team when they have 2 legendary items completed or more. Okay. The stat increases are relative to the above Triumphant boot upgrades, which are free. Okay, so each of the upgraded versions of the boots cost 750 gold more. And my first thought upon reading these, and I'm coming to the point where I haven't read any more, so I actually stopped after this and I came and started to record. My first thought upon reading these was that they all look fucking insane, with the exception of the tank ones. I think the tank ones look a little weaker, and then the other ones look completely fucking ridiculous. So this one is good, obviously. 10% move speed when you attack a champ, and it doesn't seem to have a cooldown, which I believe it would have a cooldown, but that's crazy. The stat bonuses are meh. Lucidity boots. This is the most insane Gragas item I've ever seen in my life. They made, what are they called? It's called fucking, they made Cosmic Drive for 750 extra gold on top of Tier 2 boots. So I guess it's like a 1800 gold Cosmic Drive, but it's like insane. This is insane. So your Lucidity boots are going to give you 35 haste, more move speed, and then Cosmic Drive passive. So that's pretty insane. This one speaks for itself. It now gives Magic Pen and... Sorry, Percent Pen and Flat Pen, which is crazy. The two tank ones, I don't think are anywhere near the power level of the other two, but it's okay because the tank boots are significantly better than all the other boots as a baseline anyway. I just think this... The fact this shield doesn't scale with stats, I think an 140 shield is dog shit. It scales with the 4% of your max health, but I don't know. I'll have to see what that looks like. My thinking is that this is going to look pretty weak. I'm not sure it's going to help anyone. Anyway. Then this is the disgusting one. This is Swift March. Okay, and you look at it and it doesn't look too bad. However, on junglers, with the jungle item, with the blue jungle pet, the move speed you are getting is insane. Out of combat, okay, I'm seeing Vi jungle, not known for how fast it runs, running at a flat 500 move speed without any Cloud Drakes. It's out of combat, okay? Just with Swift March. So all she has is Swift March and her blue jungle pet. She's running around at 500 move speed. To give you an idea, okay, with Home Guard, most champs only get up to around about like 600, 700. So she's like pretty close to running around full Home Guard. And if I watched it on locked camera POV, and it looked insane. It looked completely... I can't describe how unbelievably fast it was. It was stupid. So, the games that I watched on this patch, all 10 players were buying Swift March, no matter what they were playing. I saw tanks buying it. I saw ADCs buying it. Everyone's buying Swift March. I don't know what they even do about this. I think this line of text here is the issue that needs to get nerfed. The fact that this 4% flat multiplies all other forms of movement speed. So if you build a Yomu's Ghostblade, that gets increased by 4%. If you have Phase Rush, it gets increased by 4%. Like, it's pretty insane. Celerity gets increased by 4%. Water Walking, like everything gets increased. So that's the problem line. That's what's leading it to every single person who buys this thing running around at the speed of light. And yeah. So when I was talking about snowballing games, the other thing you got to keep in mind is only one team has access to this, right? So I'm trying to put this in your head. Picture trying to contest an objective, all right? when all 5 players on the enemy team have Swift March and you guys don't, right? You guys have to walk into River and they're just like buzzing around like bees in there. Like you're trying to find an engage angle and the enemy Rakan is like literally sprinting around at the speed of light. You cannot hit them. It's insane. Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do about this, but Swift March is a problem item. It is a problem item. Not a fan. I'm going to sit my thing. All right. Synchronized Souls. No one buys this Omega Wall, so... I mean, the Quins are going to be very fast, though. Quinn players are rejoicing. I fucking hate Quinn players. So. Cassiopeia cannot buy boots. I love how they included a little Cassiopeia bit here. Her passive just got an upgrade. So, it's a pretty substantial one, actually, as well. Anyway. Okay, now this is the other big change that as a top laner. So, first of all... Sorry, actually, before we get on to the next big change, what I need to keep in mind is that when Atakhan spawns, the Feats of Strength will likely have been completed. Plus, the team that gets First Blood... Actually, I'm not sure on the stats with this, but I know when I get First Blood, it will often correlate to me also getting First Tower. If I get First Blood in top lane, or I get the first kill in top lane, I will often get First Tower. I think that also invades are going to be really prevalent, because First Blood is like way better now. Because getting First Blood forces the enemy team, in order to get the Feat of Strength, they need to get 3 epic monsters. Whereas all you need to do is get First Tower. And I think First Tower is a lot easier to play for. So I think Invades are going to be really good. I think, again, Bruiser top lane is going to be really good because of this Feat of Strength. But the big issue is that in the case where a team gets First Blood and First Tower, which is not unlikely, particularly when what's going to be meta are the lane stumpy champs, right? Particularly when you're going to be seeing a lot of Urgots and Dariuses and then weird shit in top. If you're an ADC player, like this is the game set I'm picturing for you. You're an ADC player, you load into the game, you walk bot, 5 minutes in, your top laner gets solo killed. Urgot takes first turret, 13 minutes, believable, alright, enemy Urgot. Atakhan then spawns on the top side of the map at 20 minutes. Enemy team has all the feats of strength, they're running around with 10,000 move speed. Your team is already down gold. Your team is getting clapped around the map. Your enemy top is like knocking on the door of your tier 2 turret. And the fucking Baron epic monster has spawned on the top side of the map where they are strongest. Like, I don't understand how it's remotely playable. I think the snowballing is going to be a big issue. This is speculation. However, I'm concerned. I have concerns. Swift March is extremely concerning item. It is an extremely concerning item. All right, let's go into teleport. Now, this is my least favorite change by far. This is fucking trash. I hate it. And maybe it's not trash. It just looks like it would not be fun to play as someone who plays teleport. And most people don't care about this. But as someone who plays teleport, I don't think this will be fun. All right, teleport has gotten more powerful as player skill and knowledge have increased over time. True. It doesn't have a clear weakness since the winning player in lane uses it to push their advantage and losing player relies on it as a fallback. True. While both also benefit from the ability to move across the map within a few seconds. True. So all of that I agree with, by the way. I think teleport is too strong. And I actually am fine with this change. I just think that it hurts my soul a little bit because I like teleport. However, it's probably correct. In its current state, teleport significantly stifles action in lanes through its low cost as a reset button. While we think more of its power should be in its later uses that provide map impact and benefit solo lane influence on the rest of the game. As of this patch, teleport will no longer instantly blink the champion after its channel. Boo! Now they will instead visually travel across the map with teleport moving slower and unleash teleport moving much quicker. This new mechanic allows us to tune how effective teleport is at returning to lane in a way that doesn't feel as bad as nerfing its channel duration or range, while ensuring it's also still appropriately powerful later on. Okay. Now that early teleport has a long travel time, we're reintroducing its early capability to target wards and minions, as there is more time to react to an incoming teleport. Yes. In addition, home guards will now kick in from the home guards, by the way, is the thing that gives you move speed out of base. Will now kick in from the beginning of the game. Really nice. Although in a weaker state before 14 minutes, this is intended to reintroduce the difference in time it takes between walking back to lane and teleporting. This is intended to reduce the difference in time it takes between walking back to lane and teleporting, so that the early game pacing still feels reasonable, whether one takes teleport or not. So, you can read these stats here. Let me give you a verbal rundown of what this looks like, okay? You press teleport. You wait 3 seconds to start an 8-second dash back to lane. You have just spent 11 seconds teleporting back to lane. Okay? In that time, an entire wave has died to your tower. That's what's happened. Frankly. So, teleporting back to lane kind of sucks. If you want to teleport across the map, enemy team now gets 11 seconds of warning instead of 4 seconds of warning. Kind of sucks. So, you really need to be teleporting off vision. However, even if you teleport off vision, the enemy team will get a visual indicator of you flying over their head in a little ball. So they still get time to react. So teleporting onto a control ward and jump scaring people, gone. So here's the things that are gone. Teleporting back to lane after you get dove to salvage something. Not possible. Teleporting back to lane after you get solo killed and they crash the wave. Not possible. Teleporting across the map to, like, as an objective fight is already happening, to, like, come in and, like, save the day. No, you can't do that. You have to teleport literally hours before the fight starts. Okay? Which sucks. As a top lane player who likes to side lane, it means that you have to be a lot more... You gotta be a lot more safe in how you play. You can't greed for tempo on the wave and have that safety net of knowing that if my team gets engaged on right now, I can go. Right? I can't clear this one wave and go at the same time. I have to choose between giving this wave and sitting in a bush and watching my team the entire time. Because I need to be ready like 11 seconds in advance instead of 4 seconds in advance. It's really annoying. It's annoying. Here's the follow-on effect I think of this. I think what we're going to see in solo queue, here's the meta. Combine the fact that teleport is nerfed with the fact that snowballing is ridiculous, with the fact that in particular, champions that take first tower after they get first blood, so that champions that get first blood and then use that to kill enemy tower are going to be really strong because Feats of Strength are strong. The top lane meta is what's going to happen is that we're just going to see people who don't take teleport. You're going to see games of solo queue where you're going to have 10 combat summoners and 0 TPs. It's just going to happen. I think particularly in lower elo, because first of all, using teleport is way harder. It's like way harder now in order to get value out of it. It's going to be so easy to teleport late into a fight, and then the fight's over by the time you get there, and you're like coming in, and then by the time you arrive, you just ends. Like all 5 of the enemy team is just sitting there jerking off around the ward that you teleported on 11 seconds ago, and the second you land, you get one tapped. Like I can see that happening to me so many times, right? Because the second I TP, the fight's going to end, right? And you just can't predict. You can't predict 11 seconds in the future, man. It's not possible. It's crazy. Anyway. Obviously, Unleashed Teleport's slightly different. Sorry, I didn't get to this. Unleashed Teleport is a lot faster. So later in the game, it's still good. But I'm just talking about for the first dragon fight at 14 minutes. I'm talking about for... Yeah, mostly for the first dragon fight. It's going to be a little rough. Anyway. Yeah, but I think the follow-on effect of this is going to be that we have lots of sets. We're going to have lots of sets taking Ignite, lots of Renektons taking Ignite, lots of Darius taking Ghost, lots of Olaf taking Ghost. Like, you're just going to see so many combat summoners in the top lane. Because all of the things that were good about teleport, the main one being that in really hard matchups, it gave you a safety net. So that when you get solo killed, because the matchup is unplayable, or the enemy jungler comes top and dies you, which we'll get to later, they changed that slightly. You had a safety net, you could teleport back, you're not completely fucked. You have one more chance. And that just doesn't exist anymore, because all the minions will die in the time that it takes you. And also, running back to lane, because of the home guard change, is just better than teleporting back, because it's a 300-second cooldown for, like, a 2-second difference, right? So you might as well always run back. Which also takes out some of the skill in one of the things that I quite like about top lane, which is recognizing the wave state really early, and understanding whether or not you need to teleport here, or you can get away with walking back, because the solution now is going to always walk back, no matter what. There's no skill expression in that. Well, maybe it's not, I guess, because you can teleport to me. Anyway, I just think this change is going to make top lane a lot less interesting. You're going to see a lot more Ignites, frankly. And no one likes Ignite in top lane, man. Anyway, but maybe it needed it, because the other thing is that teleport needed enough, frankly. It's really strong. It was really, really strong. ADCs are tanking it, so... Anyway. But the big thing that it does lead to, and this is what's being changed here, in the next section here, we're talking about lane minions. The big thing that the teleport change does lead to is that without a change of some sort, champions that, and this is a common theme, champions that get priority on the first couple waves and can solo dive you at level 3, like Renekton, like Olaf maybe not, like Set, would have been ridiculously strong. Because if they solo dive you at level 3, you can't teleport back to lane and save anything. So, here's the change. They're making diving impossible. That's the change. So, I'll read it now. We're changing some underlying minion and turret rules to make early game less punishing in worst cases. We want more matchups to feel playable in the very early game, as optimal play can create situations where the disadvantaged lane has no winning moves. This is true. Simply waiting to get towered over in the third wave while hiding on a tower that simply doesn't protect strong enough. And this is true. I'm not someone who often is put in this situation. I'm someone who's often putting the enemy team in this situation just because the champs I play do it. And as a Set player and a Darius player and a Renekton player, I can tell you that there are so many matchups where genuinely, if you play it well, there is no counterplay. You will crash the third wave, you'll have Ignite, and you'll dive in. And he'll be level 1, you'll be level 3, and you just dive in. And it's just, that's the game. And it's the champs that can zone you off the first 3 minions of XP that are able to do that. And there's a few of them. There's a few of them in top lane like that. But particularly Set, particularly Renekton, particularly Darius. Like, they're just so good at it. Anyway, first up, minion waves will now clear each other out more quickly. A small decrease in early game HP and a significant increase in damage to other lane minions means minions will die faster and the average size of a minion wave that reaches a turret will be smaller. This hurts my soul as someone who likes to dive. The changes in damage should make last-hitting minions and their overall damage to champions and turrets feel similar to before. I hope that is true. I hope that is true, because last-hitting minions, if they make last-hitting harder, that's going to be annoying. Not for me, but I think for new Fink F-I-N-K. I think for new players, I've recently introduced my sister into the game, as you might have seen from the last video. New players, last-hitting's hard enough, man. Last-hitting's pretty hard. Anyway, we're maintaining the health total of minions at around the 6-minute mark, as this is when some champions start to unlock one spell destruction of caster minions, but otherwise we're scaling them longer into the late game. About 10% of Summoners Rift games usually reach 38-minute mark, so having minions scale beyond that point, mostly in terms of health, ensures they're still able to tank for you on your push into the enemy base. But because we don't want them to steal the show, this minion scaling is still capped, especially in the case of Cannon and Super Minions, who now stop scaling at 90 minutes, instead of up to 7 days. I didn't know they could scale for 7 days. Well, thank God Riot. They had the emergency in case of a 7-day league game, guys. In case your league game lasted a week. God. True story. One of my best mates got into an ARAM game that lasted 500 minutes. Rest in peace. Anyway. Right. So these are minion stats. Melee minions nerfed. Yeah, I mean, you can read them. Here's the big one, though. Bang. That's huge. That is fucking huge. Why is it huge? 2 reasons. Level up timers are all different. They're all different. Which is going to be really annoying to relearn as top lane, right? Because the first cannon minion wave comes at wave 4, and then after that, every second wave, every third wave will have cannon minions. So the next one's going to be at wave 7, then it's going to be wave 10, then it's going to be wave 13, right? Right now, first cannon minion wave comes at 3, then it's 6, then it's 9, then it's 12, okay? Which means that all of the level up timers we have post wave 3 rely on the 6th wave, there's going to be a cannon minion. So we know that on the 7th wave at 5 minutes, you hit level 6. Okay? That's different. That's different. Now that I said out loud, actually, I could be wrong. Because the end result is that you might still hit level 7 on... Actually, okay, no, I'm trolling. I'm wrong. The level up times are all the same. Because whether or not you have a cannon on wave 6 or wave 7, if you're going to level up on wave 7, you're going to level up on wave 7 either way. Does that make sense? So, let me explain this. You are level 5 on previous patch, okay? It is the the sixth wave, there's a cannon minion. You kill it, and you are now exactly 6 minions away from hitting level 6. The next wave comes through, it's the 7th wave, there's no cannon minion, you kill it all, you hit level 6 once the last caster minion dies. On the current patch, okay, it's wave 6 again, alright, there is no cannon minion, you kill the wave, the next wave comes, you are now exactly 6 minions and 1 cannon minion away, the next wave is a cannon minion, it's a cannon wave, so you kill the whole wave, and you hit level 6. It's just gonna be, it just means that it's gonna look wrong. Like, as someone who's very used to the level 6 level up timer being on a wave where there's no cannon minion, now it's gonna be a wave where there is a cannon minion, so that's just gonna be a little bit of mental dissonance. Also not something that matters at a lower level, because no one fucking knows the level up timers anyway. But, you know, high level play, it's gonna hurt my brain a little bit. That's okay. Okay. Miscellaneous rules. Minion XP range has been increased. No! No! Revert it! Make it smaller! Fuck, I hate when you're trying to zone someone off XP, and they get it. It's like, damn it, man. Anyway. Functionally, any run has 20.4 more gold. Okay. Minion turret damage and minion champion damage. Interesting. Slight increase to minion champion damage. This is a nerf to Darius. So both of these are nerfs to Darius and Renekton. Why? Because Darius and Renekton and Set and Olaf and all these champs that I was talking about before want to walk up into your ranged minions and hit you. And, like, they'll kite into the bush. So they'll hit you, like, once or twice. They'll go auto, like, and let's just talk about Darius. He'll walk up into your ranged minions. He'll go auto W. And then all of the minions will aggro to him. And so he'll run into the bush. But he'll get auto attack, but there's nothing you can do. You'll get auto attack, like, one time by the minions. It's just going to make... It's a very slight nerf, but it's just going to make the trades back. And particularly if you're a bad Darius and you don't cut into the bush, it's going to punish you a little harder. And the minion XP range means that it's... You're going to have to be better at zoning. You have to be more aggressive. Okay, anyway. Alright. We're increasing the power of PvP. Yeah, and this is the big one when it comes to protecting dives, by the way. So stacking waves is a little bit nerfed because the minions are going to die faster, which is fair. This is the big one. This is going to make it so fucking hard to dive. Alright, we're increasing the PvP power of turrets, raising their max damage when they're heated up, and increasing the duration they can remain in that state, making them protect allied champions more strongly in tower dive scenarios. We're also softening turret fortification, the buff that makes the top and mid turrets take less damage in the early game. Even if top and mid laners can't tower dive their opponents as easily, we'd like it if they could strike down turrets and farm their plates for gold. So they're trying to change the power in the bully champions from crashing big wave diving, which is a very unplayable playstyle to play against, into crashing slightly smaller wave and using HP lead to take a shit trade and in return for tower plates. That's it. So what it's going to look like now, because the tower is going to heat up so much faster, you take like 2 tower shots, you're going to fucking die. It's a 20% damage increase on the second tower shot, which is a big deal. That's a big deal. That's like, because the flat damage is so high, 20% damage increase is like huge. Anyway, what it's going to look like, again, I'll use the Darius example. You crash a wave that is slightly, like, let's say you do it's a 4-wave crash now, because the cannon wave's on the 4th wave, right? You do a 4-wave crash. I'm not even sure how you do that. Is it even possible to do a 4-wave crash? Actually, oh my god, that's something interesting. Dude, I don't think you can... Wait, they deleted it. Okay. To take you back a little bit, take you back to the minions. The biggest change with the cannon minion coming on the 4th wave, in a lot of matchups where you have a solid... Where your champion's better than the enemy champion. And this is true in mid, this is true in bot, and this is true in top. Okay? But I play top, so... In matchups where you are way stronger than the enemy in the early game, one thing that you would do is you would do what's called a 3-wave crash, which is where you just last hit, and you functionally stop the enemy player from touching the minions at all, and you just last hit. And if you do that, and the enemy minion doesn't touch any minion ever, what will happen is that your waves will... 3 of your waves will stack, including the cannon wave, the cannon minion, and it'll go under the enemy tower, and then you use the cannon minion to tank the tower, and usually you go for the dive, but I guess on this new patch you'd go for plates, because the cannon minion takes 10,000 years to die on a tower. Cannon minion has been deleted on the 3rd wave, and it's not possible to crash any slower. So I guess what you have to do... you can't do the 3-wave crash anymore, you just can't. It doesn't give you the same tempo, because the tower will kill the... You can't, like, cheetah recall in the 3rd wave anymore, right? Because the tower will kill or the mini minion is too fast. So there's no real easy way to get a giga tempo advantage like you could before. So I guess what you want to do is instead of that, you would go even on the first wave, so all the minions die at the same time ideally. And then you'd have to let them hit it a little bit. And then on the second wave, that's when you start trying to do a 3-wave crash, and then the third wave would be a cannon. So you just like skip over the first wave. You just pretend the first wave doesn't exist. You let the opponent hit it. They get 6 minions of gold. You get 6 minions of gold. And then you stop playing the game. Okay. I mean, I guess you could do that. It's a little bit annoying though, and it's harder to do and maybe less consistent. Anyway, interesting. But yeah, upshot is tower dives suck. Tower plates are easier to take. So the gameplay cycle is going to be 4-wave crash or 4th wave crash if you're in a really good matchup. And then hit the tower. Enemy player is going to wail on you. You're just going to hit the tower. You're not even going to try to trade with them because it's not worth, because you're going to take tower to shot and it's going to fucking kill you. So you just take the plates. That's top lane now. Top lane is going to, and probably even mid in some matchups. It's just going to be the Darius crashes the wave, the Darius walks up, auto W's the tower with grubs, and then recalls. That's the game, because you can't dive anymore. All good. We're simplifying the bounty rules for champions who are underperforming so that players who can more easily understand how champions get into their bounty states will no longer be ignoring the first minus 50 gold and negative bounty states, which means the 01 and 02 champions will tend to be worth less gold than before. No! In order to roughly equal the total value long term, we're slowing the rate at which kills, deaths, and assists affect base gold. Positive bounty shutdowns are unaffected. No, dude, that sucks. That's alright. Negative bounties no longer ignores first 50 gold. Kill / assist gold per 1 negative bounty. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's annoying. Or, it's like, again, me personally, I'm annoyed about this because the champions I play, they tend, if someone goes 01, they tend to go 02, they tend to go 03, they tend to go 04, they tend to go 05. That's just what happens. Swift play. No one gives a fuck. Rank season. No one gives a fuck. Ashe. Alright, now this is the fun part. This is the fun part. Now we get to the champion changes. We're almost done. Ashe is busted right now. Ashe is completely busted. So I wonder if they nerfed her. She's really good. She's really good on the patch. On the current patch. Ashe's update this patch has 2 goals. First, we'd like to reduce the extremely high power she has in early levels. A combination of one of the highest functional level 1 attack damages in the game and permanently slowing her targets can create situations where you make a single mistake means she runs you down across the entire lane, causing you to flash or die. Yeah, it happens. Second, we'd like if Frost Shot was always a benefit instead of sometimes a hindrance. Even with a 100% crit chance, Ashe would never get any bonus damage from her passive, since it only applied if they were already slowed. Volley's changes are a simple power shift, making it weaker at level 1, but stronger than before at level 5, regardless of build. Awesome. That's really good. That's exactly where she needs to go, in my personal opinion as a non-game designer. Okay, so passive Frost Shot, 100% plus crit percent, always. Wow. That is a nice change. That is a really nice change for Ashe. Okay, Q damage, buffed. Wow, Q damage giga buffed. What the hell? And the attack speed is buffed. 10% buff on the attack speed, 5% buff on the damage. Interesting. Well, Ashe max W anyway. I wonder if this makes her max Q. Probably not. W damage is 60 at level 1. What the hell are they thinking? What the hell are they thinking? Ashe W is going to absolutely nuke at level 1. Okay, no, it's so W max. Dude, Ashe support is going to be disgusting. Lethality Ashe is... Look, it's 120 increase to the damage. What are they thinking? They didn't increase the cooldown either. This is going to be disgusting. Ashe support is going to be completely fucked. So what we're going to see is Umbral Glaive, Lethality Ashe support, CDR boots, new CDR boots as well. And she's just going to walk up and W and nuke you on a 5-second cooldown. That's okay. Awesome. That's okay. This is a cool change for ADC Ashe. This is disgusting. Oh my god, wait, this combines with a Frost Shot as well, no? Does this combine with the Frost Shot? The W is going to be... I'm going to throw up. 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 That combines with the Frost Shot, doesn't it? I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. That's so disgustingly good. Wow. Alright, well, hope you guys like Ashe support. We finished drinking this. Okay. Here we go. Callista. Dashes are now more resilient to slows, mana regeneration increased, Q damage, and mana cost nerfed, E damage decreased. Like similar Ashe's changes above, we'd like to reduce some of Callista's extremely high level 1 to 3 power, while also giving her something for Kalista players to be excited about. On the nerf side of things, we're reducing her ability to QE poke by nerfing Pierce's base damage and mana cost, while also nerfing her all-in power by nerfing the first, wow, what a nerfing, the first few ranks of Ren's bonus damage on multiple stacks. On the buff side of things, we rebuilt the Martial Poise's logic for dash speed. Kalista's dash speed calculation is a complicated beast that factors in her attacks per second, bonus attack speed, dash distance, plus dimension, okay. These calculations now favor Kalista in more situations. It partially ignores attack speed slows, doesn't put as much weight into movement speed slows, and now gets faster with bonus move speed. The result is that her dashes are slightly slower in the very early game, and slightly faster in the late game. And much faster when affected by high potency slows. Okay, so Wither is less good against her. Good. And Zillion's less good against her. We've also given her a little bit of late game mana regeneration to make her a little easier for novice Kalistas who don't refund her mana cost with Ren very well. How novice do you have to be? Jesus Christ. Anyway, Martial Poise. Dash calculation rebuilt. Trust us on this one. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't put... I'm glad they didn't. I bet you there's, actually, essays of text on this. Base attack speed now properly referenced as buff. Okay, 8% buff to base attack speed. Attack speed factor influence of attack speed slows has been halved. Attack speed increases still have full influence. Movement speed multiplier is not properly capitalized. Multiplied by 1 minus slow percent. Multiplied by 0.2%. Total movement speed plus 0.28. This is typically close to 100%, but now benefits from bonus move speed and is more resilient to slows. The minimum multiplier is 48%. Okay, I understand. Dash animation restored. Okay. Yes. Q. Now, this is what we're looking at. Nerf. So Q nerf. Just flat Q nerf. E. Nerf. Yeah, just flat nerf. Okay, just like a 5% nerf on Q and E. Twitch is buffed! Let's go! We get a preemptive AP nerf, which is now unnecessary. Yes, guys, buff Twitch by 1%. That's what he needs. That's so good. Now we're going to be able to play on-hit Twitch, guys. Let's go. I love Twitch. He's so fun. All right. Varus. Like with Ashe and Kalista, we'd like to make Varus a super early laning phase filled with more interactive. Hell, Varus is extremely long range and reliable poke tool, especially when combined with undodgeable systemic damage from Comet and Scorch. Comet is dodgeable, by the way, guys. While Varus has very good reasons for his E being long range and reliable, mostly for popping Blight on fleeing enemies, we can price that spell cast such that it requires those Blight stacks to be worth casting. So we're shifting his mana constraints to let him play around Piercing Arrow much more, which has a high quality gameplay around dodging and hiding behind minions and relegating Hail of Arrows to more situational skill. To further create room in the early game, we're also stretching out Blighted Quiver's bonus on hit damage. Okay, so I see what they're meaning here. I was like, but Comet is dodgeable, but what they're trying to get rid of is the playstyle of Varus where he just E's. Which I agree with. That's a shit playstyle, so cool. Q damage. Oh, Q mana cost has been nerfed a lot. Actually. E mana cost has been increased to compensate. And W on hit damage has been buffed in the late game. But it's tiny. It's completely unnoticeable. Cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, this should have the effect they want, I think. Particularly because his base mana got nerfed by 40 as well. So, I still don't think you want to spam Q, though. I don't think... Yeah, anyway. AP Bruisers lack a pen or shred item with stats that feels good for them to purchase. So we're bringing over Blood that is cursed from Arena. Please bring back Arena. I love Arena. To accommodate that need! Exclamation point. We adjusted the stats and created a recipe and slightly modified the rules of its passive so that it can healthily exist on Summoner's Rift. It's expected that some non-bruisers such as Brand will also like the item, but we're okay with that so long as champs like Mordekaiser and Gwen feel good building it. Yes, I like AP Bruisers, and I like giving them Shred. This is good. I enjoy this item. I don't know if I haven't played with it. In Arena, it wasn't very good. It was fine. You didn't even build it on Mord and Gwen, though. I'm an Arena veteran. I played a lot of Arena. It's 2,900. I wonder if it's even good, though. I'm trying to think when you would build it in Gwen's items. Would you build it third? No, because you want death cap. So, fourth? Maybe fourth. Maybe fourth, but then, you're not getting Zhonya's. Yeah, I feel like Mord, it's a little easier. I'm having a hard time thinking of where they would go just because it feels like Mord and Gwen's builds are so set already, with Gwen wanting Nash's Tooth into Riftmaker, into Rabadons, into Zhonya's, into, Titu Boots. With Mord wanting Rylai's into Liandry's into Riftmaker into, you know what I mean? Like, this is... And Gwen wants Riftmaker too. Like, I don't know where the hell this goes. Runes. The following runes have been removed. Ghost Porous Zombie... Wow, Zombie Ward. Eyeball Collection. Nullifying Orb! No! The following runes have been added. Deep Ward. Stealth wards placed in the enemy jungle are considered deep. Interesting. After level 11, stealth wards in the river are considered deep as well. Deep wards gain 1 extra health and a plus 30 to 45 second duration. Yo, is that... Oh, it's red, isn't it? Is that in the red? I'm trying to... Is that domination? Because if that's domination, I can't play it in top. But that is an insanely good rune in top. Wait, you could play it. You could play it on Renekton. You could play it with an Ambessa too, actually. Because top is again, just thinking about the champs that get priority in top lane, which are the ones that I play. If it's just talking Renekton and Ambessa, we're talking Darius. When you crash the third wave, you can often walk into the enemy jungle and get a deep ward. But a lot of the time, that ward will expire before you get any use out of it. So I think deep ward, like a 30-second duration on your ward is like crazy. It's crazy. So if you can get away with that, I don't know. I think on Renekton it's pretty easy because you play Sudden Impact. On Ambessa it's pretty easy. You can play Sudden Impact. But on most other people, it's a bit hard to go Domination. 6/10. Automatically ping untracked and unseen wards within 900 units. Oh my god, it's a noob rune. Noob rune. After level 11, 6/10 will also reveal the ward for 10 seconds. Untracked and unseen wards. Wait, never mind. Unseen. Oh, okay, it's not a noob rune. Okay, I take it back. I take it back. I thought it was like if you saw a ward and it wasn't pinged by a teammate, it would ping it. I was like, that is such a shit rune. But no, it's okay. It's if you don't see the ward, if you didn't see them place it, then you can 6th sense where it is. Just buy Sweeper though. Interesting. Just buy Sweeper. Just get good. I don't know. Grizzly Mementos. For each champion takedown, gain 4 Trinket ability haste. Okay. In modes where this doesn't make sense, gain 2 Summoner Hero ability haste instead. I don't give a fuck. In all modes without wards, all players that select Deep Water 6 sense will automatically be swapped to Glistening Mementos instead. Okay. Okay, so they changed all... Oh, right. They changed all 3 of the middle domination ones and replaced them with 3 different ward things. So the best one by far is Deep Ward, by the way. The other 2 are kind of not as good at all, even close. The Deep Ward is Giga. Okay. Axiom Arcanist. Your ultimate's ability damage, healing, and shielding increased by 14%. Takedowns refund 7% of your ultimates. I mean, that's insane. Again, I don't know how I could play that on. That's really good. ARAM. Skip! Never mind, I'll have a look. No, okay, skip. Mythic Shop rotations. Skip! Quality of life changes. Just NXQ. Multiplayer practice tool. I will be doing that. Multiplayer practice tool is a big deal. That's a big deal. Improved League client load time. That'll be... There's an upcoming video that I'll be using that for. That is... there's a new minigame that I can now make with that. Anyway. Improved League client load time, especially on lower spec devices. Good. Updated patch number displayed in the bottom right of the client. Sure. Remove the outdated closed League client as needed option for players with performance concerns. Sure. Bug fixes. Rengar counts as 2 spec. Okay. That's really weird. Shaker W to proc Malignant. Yeah, actually, I did notice this. Picked a bug that caused Master Yi to be slowed. It's because his ult and his W do the same thing, right? Anyway, fix a bug. Well, that'll be like the root of the problem. Again, I'm not claiming to be a programmer or game designer here. Fix a bug that caused Master Yi to be able to slow by Victor's W. I've revert that. He deserves it. I don't care if it's a bug. Fix a bug that caused Callista passive dash. And yeah, okay. Gangplank Q&E abilities not interact. Yep. Just on a W. Alright. I don't give a fuck about that bug fixes. I'm sure it's good. Now, this is what we care about there. This is what we care about here. Sheesh, ya baddie. Did you guys see that animation? The video they released? That was fucking scary. I'm not gonna lie. They like cut to Elise. That shit was scary. She was like on the roof and shit. Alright. GG's. That's the patch. Final thoughts. That it's really sick. First of all, it's pretty cool. Second of all, that snowballing is going to be out of control. That top lane bruisers are all going to play Ignite. And that you're not going to see one TP for a while. Like, in not coordinated play. Because it's just shit. What people want to use it for is... It's... Doesn't exist anymore. Like, you're not getting tempo with it. So, there's no point... And trying to help your team with it, you got to be a fucking prophet. You got to be an oracle. You got to see 20 seconds in the future. So you can't, like... The biggest thing that annoys me that's removed is that you can't get a lot of tempo on a side lane and then still be in time for the fight. you gotta choose, do I want tempo on the side lane, or do I want to go help my team with the fight? And at that point, you might as well just fucking walk to the fight. Why are you even on the side lane in the first place? Just walk to the fight. So, yeah. I don't know. However, Atakhan looks sick. Blood Petals might be a little weak. Or strong. I don't know, I haven't played with him yet. And the champ nerfs and buffs look good. No tank nerfs, though. Ha 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 ha. No tank nerfs. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. We love tanks. Oh, I love tanks. Needed to be some tank nerfs. It's okay. We got next patch for it. And yeah, that's all. That's all. Hope you enjoyed. I'll do more patch rundowns in the future because I had fun. I had fun doing this. And yeah. All right, bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye now. Bye now. Get some dubs. Get the wins.